Yo, what is going on, guys? We are back today for another video. So a lot of you guys have really been enjoying this new tier list format, just specialized for this month, where instead of one big video, we're breaking it up into 6 different parts, each one focusing on one given class with a whole new format of the tier list maker website and pictures and everything. And I've been having a ton of fun making these. That's my goal with this, is just to have fun with it. Just rank these characters how I see fit, completely my opinion, based off of all my time playing the game, and just have fun. So let's go ahead and continue that series today with every single Mystic champion. Now, let me tell you guys a little something. So, I was making sure I had everything, all the pictures down here, and I counted 14, 14, 14, and counted these guys. I got to a number of 48. And then, I went into my Mystic champions, went into my 6 stars, and I counted, and I was missing one. I'm like, 47. And I'm like, it took me like 5 minutes to figure it out. I'm like, oh, magic. Because, she's restricted as a 5-star, so she's not in here for 6 stars. But yeah, we got 48 Mystic champions to rank today. We're going to go ahead and start with this 4th row here. There's like 2, 4, 6 champions in it. So just to deal with them. And then we'll have 3 full rows of each having 14 Mystic champions. So let's start with Unstoppable Colossus. This dude is F tier. He is terrible, but he has potential. Now imagine if Unstoppable Colossus just pulled bits and pieces from Colossus's buff and from Juggernaut's buff, because that's who Unstoppable Colossus is. He is Colossus with Juggernaut's power, the Gem of Sidorak. And yet he is absolute buns, and he costs a crap ton of loyalty. And if we head over here, you can buy him for the cheap price of 1.6 million loyalty for the 6-star, who sucks. So we need him to get like a crazy buff and to see the 7-star version. That would be sick. But right now, as is, this dude sucks. He's F tier. Alright. Up next, we got Ebony Maw. Ebony Maw. I'm going to put him in A tier. Ebony Maw is alright. He's an alright defender. He's an alright attacker. But he doesn't really do anything that cool. Outside of his little bit of cheese with guaranteed crits. It's like the only real unique thing about him. And that doesn't warrant an S tier for me. So Ebony Maw going A tier. Sorcerer Supreme. Now, at one point, I really liked this champion, but not anymore. She's also going into A tier. Yeah, she's just so slow. Pun intended, because she has slow. Which is very useful. She got a lot of utility. She's just so slow to play. And I don't know about you guys, but slow champions not champions with access to slow, but champions that just take a while to build up, not very flashy, they're safe but slow. It has to be a certain type, and Sorcerer is just not it. Like I said, I used to like her back when like the first 2 years she was out. It was a different time in the contest, and I found her to be useful back then. Still a bit slow, but today I have not touched Sorcerer in so long. I don't plan on it. She has some utility. She's not garbage. She has some uses, but she's definitely not for everyone. Not for me. She's going in A tier. Alright. Purgatory. So Purgatory was one of our buff champions, and she definitely seems better, but I don't think she's top tier. I'm going to put her in S tier, and she's definitely not going to be at the front of it for long. Yeah. Alright, then we have Spider-Man Supreme. I think this guy, he's so squishy. He's kind of cool. I think I'm going to put him top of A tier for now. Maybe I'll come back to him later. But he's restricted as a 6-star currently. I think as a 7-star, he could be pretty sweet, but right now, restricted 6-star, I think he's landing A tier. Alright, and then we have one final Mystic champion on this 4th row, America Chavez. She's going SS tier. Chavez is definitely one of the best Mystic champs around. Just her ability to control power, the way that she does with just completing a heavy attack, immediately getting one of those dimensions. Like, it's so simple versus Serpent. Plus, she hits really hard. And the more buffs, the more damage. Chavez, she's really good. Our first SS tier. I don't know if she's going to be staying at the top, but yeah, she definitely deserves that tier. Alright, we got Wong. Wongers, I'll put him in S tier. You know, he's very good in Acropolis. Outside of that content, though, he's like an alright defender and an okay attacker. You know, but in Acropolis, could be like S+, but so he's gonna get S tier for that. Alright, let's do some bad champions. Let's see. Who sucks? Iron Fist. You suck. F tier. You know what? We're gonna give this Iron Fist D tier just because he looks cool. That's the only reason. This Iron Fist is going F tier. This Iron Fist, just because he's cooler, is going D tier. Okay, let's see. Who else just sucks? Loki. Put Loki in C tier. He's pretty buns, but he does have some cool shenanigans that he can do with the whole buff steal thing. So yeah, C tier. Loki needs just an insane rework. Him and Thor. That'd be so cool. Like cosmic OG Thor, dude. Like him and Loki, just the brothers getting an insane rebalance one month. Imagine how cool that would be. Oh man, I can dream. Okay, let's keep going. You know, a lot of Mystic champs are pretty good. Doctor Strange, this dude, it's pretty bad. I think we put him in C tier, which is so sad because, you know, Doctor Strange at one point in time, you know, back in the day, he was easily up here, if not even higher. You know, back in the good old days of like pre 12.0, long time ago. Okay, let's keep going here. Ghost Rider. Ooh, I'm gonna put Ghost Rider into B tier. Dude, Ghost Rider as well used to be awesome. I would love for this Ghost Rider to just get an insane buff. He still looks so good in game. Like, let's take a look at Ghost Rider for a sec, dude. I love me some Ghost Rider. I used to play this guy all the time. I brought him to Alliance Quest map 6, which at the time was the highest available version, and he was just so good, dude. His regen in there was so awesome. I took like one of the harder paths as well in section 3 of path 6, again way back in the day, and Ghost Rider he had it locked down. I should try to find some gameplay of my old AQ paths, some old Ghost Rider gameplay, because dude, this guy used to slap. But again, today's standards, it's like a B tier. Ghost Rider was also negatively affected by 12.0. His regen used to be, after 12.0, I think his regen was changed, so it's just each hit regens a certain amount. But I think before 12.0, it was based off like how much damage he was dealing, so affected him too. Alright, let's keep going. Dr. Voodoo. Dude, Dr. Voodoo is great. I think he's going up in S tier. Dr. Voodoo remains really good. Maybe even a bit higher. Dude, Dr. Voodoo is awesome. This guy as well. I remember when he came out, he had actually one of the coolest looking, his crystal was like a skull. Like, it was awesome. I remember watching Seaton. He got Dr. Voodoo really luckily, and then I think he got a Mystic Awakening gem as well for him. And it was just pulling some CEO shenanigans. I remember watching that and being so jealous back in the day. I'm like, dude, I want Dr. Voodoo so bad. Like, he looks so cool. I remember wanting him, dude. He's awesome. Dr. Voodoo. I think, yeah, at this time, I wanted, like, the 5-star Voodoo. And all I got, and it took me a while, and then eventually I got the 4-star. That's how long ago we're talking here. But dude, Voodoo, he's got power control, he's got poison damage, he's got regen at the start of fights. Dude, Voodoo, he remains awesome. It'd be very interesting to see a 7-star Voodoo in today's day and age. All right, let's keep going here. Morningstar. Morningstar, gonna put her in A tier. Once you build up Morningstar, dude, she's actually pretty damn good. Like, if we're talking built up Morningstar, probably here. Maybe even higher. But building her up is a pain in the butt. It's not fun. But yeah, I remember doing dungeons way back in the day with Morningstar. I was actually the first person in the world to ever have a playable Morningstar on their account from 2017 Comic-Con. The good old days. So yeah, me and Morningstar, we go way, way back. But yeah, I think A tier is appropriate. Okay, let's keep going here. Destroyer. Destroyer is a tough one. I think S tier. No, I think top of A tier, honestly, for Destroyer. I wish Destroyer was better, dude. I really wish he was. He's so cool looking, and his concept, I love it, but he's just not that good. He's not that difficult to fight for the most part. You know, you can get around him. And on offense, outside of like Hulkling matchup, I just find him to be very underwhelming. Which sucks because, you know, he came outside alongside Serpent. So I feel like he should have been better. Alright, let's keep going though. We got Dragon Man. Dragon Man is pretty good. We put him in A tier. He's not bad. Guillotine, B tier. Deathless Guillotine, A tier. She's alright. I see a lot of people really liking Deathless Guillotine. Not me. Like, in Necropolis with the full Deathless team, okay, she's not bad. But outside of that, I'm not putting her any higher than that. Jane Foster. Now, Jane Foster got buffed, and she's still pretty bad. Top of B tier. She's pretty bad. Okay. Let's Rintrah. Okay, Rintrah. Which one? I don't know, man. He's like so close to being SS. I think he gets there. I think he does. He's such a tank on defense, and he's so good on attack as well, with such a reliable neutralize. Yeah, now that he's a 7-star as well, yeah, I think he gets the SS. Yeah. Okay, Mephisto up next. Mephisto, for his defensive abilities, put him in A tier. Yeah, Mephisto's pretty good on defense still. To this day, you know, they don't get a decent counter. He can definitely be pretty rough. Still restricted as a 6-star champion. Okay, Tigra, S+. Tigra's great, but she is restricted as a 6-star. She has a very high risk, high reward playstyle. And even the best Tigra players in the world, I've seen them make mistakes and get very, very heavily punished for it. I don't think Tigra is SS tier worthy. Absolutely not. S+ at highest. Okay. Wiccan. Wiccan is pretty good. Let's put him top of S. Mangog. Mangog is pretty cheeks. Put him A tier behind Maw. I'd say Mangog's a better defender, but Maw is definitely a better attacker. So, yeah. Okay. Let's keep going. Claire. Claire is a tricky one. I would say she's S or S plus. She is restricted as a 6-star currently. She has honestly, the biggest thing Claire has going for her is the buff immunity debuff that she can apply on her special 2. That is really, really good. Like I can only think of one other champion in the game right now that can also apply that debuff in the first place, and that champion's Spot. And he can only apply it to himself, you know, not the opponent. It's a very, very powerful ability. But is that ability enough to warrant S+? She'd either be like right here in the tippy top of S, or here. Claire's a tough one. It's so close. I think with recoils, she's here. But without those masteries, she's here. Yeah. That's the way, yeah. That's the way I look at it. If you run those masteries, she's totally S+ tier. If you don't really run those masteries at all, S tier. Yeah. So I'm going to leave her here because I personally think that from my own playing the game, like back again, like 2017, 2018, 2019, I was constantly always running the recoil masteries any chance I could. 2023, 2024, now to 2025, I feel like I am never running those masteries personally. Like, I don't do arena, so I don't have to worry about putting them on for that. Like, I just very seldomly ever use the recoil masteries in 2025, so I can't justify a champion that needs them for this tier to be in that. But if you love Claire, you run the recoil masteries frequently, I could totally see her being here, or even here. Again, if you use her all the time. But I'm going to put her in S tier. Top of S tier, but S tier still. Okay. That's a tricky one. Alright. White Tiger. I hear so many people talk about White Tiger. Personally, I don't see it. I'm not a fan at all. But I'll put her in the bottom of S tier. Okay. Let's see here. Kindred. Kindred is a weird one. We put him front of S. He's that good of a defender, but his defense is really, really all he does. And I don't think he's that good of a defender. He's good, but he's counterable. I think top of S tier is a good spot for Kindred. Okay. Hood. I think Hood's great. I think, yeah, right there in S tier is a good spot for him. Okay. Enchantress. I think Enchantress. I think Enchantress is SS. Mainly for her defensive abilities. She's one of the craziest defenders in the game, as it's undeniable. Her kit paired with certain nodes is just going to make for insane interactions in the future. And on top of all that, she is good on attack. She's just probably the most complex champion to play offensively. But it's there. So, yeah, I think Enchantress gets SS. Yeah. Okay, we got some tricky ones remaining here. Let's do some easier ones. Magic. No, we'll save Magic. Mordo. Mordo's kind of tricky, honestly, but I think he's good. Let's put him S. I don't use Mordo much, but... Okay. Let's do Isofiend. She's a tough one. Honestly, I don't think she's very good. Either top of A tier or bottom of the barrel of S tier. I think I'm going to leave her there. Like, she can counter Serpent at the end, and that's That's literally it. That's all there really is to write home about this champion. It's about it. That's it. Like, there's not really anything else that's good to say. It's just that, the way I look at her. And that alone isn't enough for her to go higher. So, yeah. A tier it is. Okay. Dormammu. B tier. Dormammu has infinite potential. Dude, if Dormammu gets buffed and they literally keep him exactly the same but just increase his damage, he would immediately go like this. Immediately. Like, if they increased his damage and gave him like one other thing, he'd be going up here. Like, Dormammu has so much potential. Like, he has great immunities, he has incredible power control. He just doesn't do damage. That's literally all he needs, and he can skyrocket. We need a Dormammu buff. We really do. But top of B tier, as is. Yeah. Okay, let's keep going. Spiral. Spiral is pretty neat. And I like her. But I don't think she's good enough for S+ yet. Same with Shothra. Yeah, but Shothra and S as well. I don't know if they're quite S+ or higher. Alright, let's do an easy one. Dr. Doom. It's great. Let's put him up top. Okay. Dr. Doom. Not much to say. He's a tank. He's not a 7-star yet for a very good reason, because if you pulled him as a 7-star, just unduped. You got an incredibly powerful champion. Doom's quite literally slaps. So, enough said there. Alright. Let's do some Scarlet Witches. Let's start with OG. OG Scarlet Witch, as is on her own. I like A tier. Sigil Witch. I think she could be an S. She's got some pretty cool things that she does. Yeah. The more I'm looking at Spiral, the more I'm thinking she gets the promotion. But if Spiral gets it, does Shothra get it too? I think so. Yeah, I think so. They're both pretty damn good. They are both pretty damn good. Okay. Yeah. Alright. Alright, let's keep going. Man Thing. A tier. Be top of A tier. Yeah. Alright, Diablo. Diablo's pretty good. Put him top of S tier. Long Shot. S tier. Mojo, S tier as well. Like right in there. Okay. Our list only have a few champs left, and all these champions I like, so I'm excited for the rest of this. Okay. Let's see here. Who do we start with? Let's go Kushala. Kushala. I think, yeah, right there. Kushala is very, very powerful. My favorite thing about her, like, there's so much going on with her. Great damage, great immunities, great utility. But the biggest thing about Kushala for me is the ability to just block, to simply block unblockable attacks. So long as you have your justice, your little blue blessing, which all you need to do to activate, which stack up to 3 by the way, is just parry. So simple. And you're just countering unblockable. Not unblockable specials, unblockable, period. That is insane. That one individual ability is just bonkers. Plus everything else in her kit. The only downside of Kushala is she's not that good on defense. Not to say she is a potato on defense, because I've seen her do some things on defense. Nothing crazy, but in certain nodes, metas, she's not a complete slouch. But for the most part, not really a defender. Okay, let's do Sasquatch next. Speaking of a defender, Sasquatch is a really good defender. And yeah, I think S+. Sassy's awesome, dude. Biggest health pool in the whole game. Phenomenal defender. And very underrated on attack, dude. Honestly, Sassy can do some things on attack for sure. He's got Cold Snap, almost immunity. I think he's like 90% resistance or something. Because all that thick fur. He's a cool champ. Great defender. Pretty underrated attacker. S+. Okay. Let's do an easy one. Jugs. SS. Top of the tier. Yep. Let's do another easy one. Magic. Second to the top. Yep. I think the only Mystic champion more broken than Magic is Juggernaut. I think Juggernaut is just the strongest Mystic champ in the game. Except for right now because he's bugged. But Juggernaut under normal circumstances, dude. Like, it's so ridiculous. Just get the special 2, have 10 unstoppable, win the game. Simple as that. Juggernaut, I think, is the most overtuned buff that we've ever seen, and that we probably ever will see. Plus, that paired with his own relic is just taking him to such an unreasonable level, but I love it. I absolutely just love smashing through content with Jugs. It's so much fun, dude. So, yeah, he's the king of the Mystic class. Alright, and then we have three great champs. Symbiote Supreme, Werewolf, and Absorbing Man. So, I think Absorbing Man makes SS just for his immunities. Like, those immunities are so good. Yeah, I think he makes that. And then Werewolf, S+, for sure. And Sim Supreme, I think he also makes the S+. Bottom of it, but he makes it. So, Werewolf, you know, he has a very large health pool as well. It's not quite as big as Sassy's, but it's big. Like, let me pull up my... Let's compare their health pools real quick. So, Sassy is clocking in at 115. Werewolf is clocking in at almost 100,000. So, you know, it is not... Sassy's got some health on him, but he's still up there. Very, very nice chunky health pool. And Werewolf is very good on attack. You know, he can be a little bit slow when the moon is not full. When the moon's full, bro, he is fast. But yeah, what I really love about Werewolf is, first of all, he has Rupture damage, which is really great. Same as Sassy. Rupture is really, really nice to have, because there's not that many immunities to it. But the really neat thing about Werewolf is he can literally just hit into the opponent's block and howl to build power. And that's it. You can just play the fight like that. You don't need to actually even strike the opponent. Kind of similar to Valkyrie. So having that unique playstyle, I really, really like that about Werewolf. Not that you need to always do that, but just to have that in your back pocket anytime you may need it. It's really nice. And then Symbiote Supreme, first of all, the cool factor. Symbiote Supreme might just be the best looking Mystic champ in game. Like, when I first heard, we were like, wait, Symbiote Supreme's pretty old, you know, and Doctor Strange used to be a god in the game before 12.0, like we talked about. So, you know, when I heard that we were getting a new Doctor Strange that also had the Venom symbiote, Symbiote Supreme, like, you have no idea how hyped I was. And then I eventually got him and just fell in love with the character. I used him so much back in the day. I think Symbiote Supreme is the strongest Alliance War attacker on this list. and I say that with my full chest out, dude. Symbiote Supreme, out of every Mystic champion on this list, in the Alliance War specific mode, I think he's the strongest attacker, which honestly might even warrant him to go higher. If we're talking Alliance War, he's there, for sure. He's like up there. But, you know, not everyone cares about Alliance War. But, dude, I can't tell you, like, how good Symbiote Supreme is. To put this into perspective, way back in the day, there was the hardest war fight. You can look this up. It's just look up Node 29 Killmonger. It was right in the middle of the Alliance War map, and it had all these crazy nodes. And back in the day, what people would do was use magic. You know, the champion who's not even a 6-star right now, let alone a 7-star, because that's how broken she is. So everyone would use magic. Now, it wasn't always a guaranteed solo. And then I came along and I found that using Symbiote Supreme paired with an invulnerability boost, which you didn't even need, as long as you know you're in your armor phase, you're protected from special 3s. But Symbiote Supreme with an invulnerability boost equated to basically a free and easy solo on the hardest fight on the entire war map. And once I figured that out, I started taking that fight like every war with Sim Supreme. I never died to it. He crushed it every single time. That was years and years ago. Fast forward now, I just took Symbiote Supreme to rank 3, and I've been taking the biggest serpents in the game on the hardest nodes on the current war map. Absolute easy. Cakewalk. The toughest Cosmic Defender that the whole community was in an uproar about not getting rebalanced, myself included. Symbiote Supreme just takes him with ease on any node, even Hazard Shift, where there's, you know, debuffs being applied. Symbiote Supreme has no immunities. Doesn't matter, because that is how good of a champion this guy is in a place like Alliance War, where you can aptly boost, even bring in a synergy. If you bring Mordo on the team, he starts with a bar of power. Like, it's just... That's crazy, man. I am fully on that Sim Supreme agenda once again in 2025. But yeah, guys, that is all 48 of our Mystic champions placed on the tier list. Whew, that one was a fun one, dude. A lot of Mystic champs at the top. The Mystic class is very powerful. Plus, you know, they all have access to the Mystic Dispersion Mastery, which is a big deal for the class as well. So yeah, guys, that is going to go ahead and wrap it up for the third video in this new class tier list series. This one was definitely the longest. We rambled on a bit, but I hope you guys enjoyed. Drop a like if so, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. All your feedback and criticism is appreciated in the comment section below. Drop me a comment, tell me what you think, tell me what your list would look like, what you would make differently. But all I ask is that you respect that this is my opinion. It's totally cool to disagree, just don't be a dick. Alright, hope you guys all have a great, wonderful day. Peace.